Good health to you.
From the yard or from the wood? And beef. We have it all. Come and see.
God be with you.
I'd like to make use of the bathhouse's services.
So what are you interested in?
Get myself fixed up a bit. Have a bath and get my clothes washed.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Ale for me.
So, what did Master Pfeiffer have to say?
I consulted him and we definitely have a starting point.
Tell me more.
Master Pfeiffer found out they need copper sheets for the core of the coins and quicksilver for the the other part?
I see. They have such materials at the monastery.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in the local forges.
Yes, that is good. Yesterday, I heard people from the craftsman's yard by the monastery complaining. They said they could not sleep at night because the blacksmith works all the time till dawn.
I see. That's certainly worth asking about. Have you heard anything else?
You said they use quicksilver. There is a painter lodging here who is painting the church in Ujits. I heard him complain also. He said that he went to the monastery for quicksilver and it was all gone.
Well, that's something to follow up as well. Thanks.
God be with you.
I hear you've had some problems with the supply of quicksilver.
Problems? I should say so. For the third time this month they've told me they've none. There's no quicksilver to be had, they said.
And who exactly are you talking about? Who's holding back the goods on you?
The monastery overseer, or his assistant, more like.
So what did the overseer have to say to you?
Nothing. Apparently he doesn't deal in such trifles. Leaves it all to his assistant, the pompous git.
Surely such valuable material can't just vanish. Where can it be?
I wish I knew. Every time I ask for the red paint, there's a different reason why they haven't got the quicksilver to mix it. Once they said the goods never arrived, and another time that the wagon carrying it was ambushed. Then it went astray somewhere.
And you think they're lying?
Jesus, what do I know? But it seems pretty strange to me. 3 times in a row the same thing goes missing. There's bad luck and then there's something else.
What do you need quicksilver for?
I don't. They do. To mix up the red pigment for me. I'm painting the church in Ujits. Can you imagine how stupid those biblical scenes look without red?
Not really.
Then be glad you can. My eyes hurt just to imagine it.
That's all I need to know for now.
Ah. But wouldn't you care to buy something before you go? Or play a game? I really need some money. I've been waiting here a while and my stay's getting expensive.
Why not? Show me what you have to offer.
Good luck to you.
Yeah!
A good day to you. What do you...
I'm looking for pieces of a sword that a pilgrim from the Holy Land was selling. Would you happen to know anything about it?
I would. Of course I would.
Well?
It's a load of tripe. Only a fool would have given that trickster a single groschen, and I'm no fool. How about you?
But if he lied about that sort of stuff, it would be a terrible sin.
Don't be so gullible, lad. That bastard never saw the Holy Land. Unless it was in a fresco.
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
There's too many of us, I'll tell you that for free. This is only a small town. There's Zach, who has a forge in the craftsman's yard and mostly works on the construction of the church. And then, apart from me, there's Master Armourer Otter of Ramstein.
Tell me more about Zach.
Don't have much time for him myself. He knows his craft, no question. But he seems to think his son, Vitus, will be a master armourer in Prague one day.
My father was a blacksmith, and I expect he thought much the same about me. That's how fathers are, isn't it?
Of course, any man should be proud of his boy. But Zach makes pride a sin. That's why he's at loggerheads with Master Otter.
Can you tell me something about Master Otter?
Well now, there's a master to look up to. He's worked for the lords of Kunstadt and for the richest townsfolk of Prague.
If you don't mind my asking, what brings him here?
The same as draws all reasonable people. He's enjoying the peace and quiet. Or rather, he used to enjoy some peace. That dispute with Zach must have put a few more wrinkles on his brow.
What are Zach and Master Otter arguing about?
Zach had his boy Vitus trained as an armourer in Kuttenberg, and he wanted to buy out Otter's place for him. Except that Otter's a proud man. How would it have looked? A master armourer giving way to a young whippersnapper who's barely let go of his mother's skirts? And they've been arguing ever since. Well, Zack mostly. He badmouths Otter every chance he gets. He claims that he's only fit for mending pots and that his son will see him off.
That will be all. Thank you. Do you ever work with copper here?
No, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Zack from the monastery craftsman's yard has bought out all the copper. Good luck to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
God be with you.
Do you have any quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
I'm here on behalf of the master fresco painter. He said you sent him away empty-handed 3 times already.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to. It's that I can't.
Bollocks. Tell me this instant what you've done with the goods.
Nothing! And I'd advise you to calm down. We're on hallowed ground.
You're a fine one to speak of hallowed ground, a lying thief in monastic robes. What next? A whore dressed as a nun?
This is blasphemy!
I'll give you blasphemy. I'm sure you know what our Lord did to the money changers in the temple.
What do you mean? You're not going to hurt me, are you?
Tell me what's going on here and I won't have a reason to.
Jesus. But I didn't know anything about any counterfeiting.
For your sake, I hope that's true. Now tell me what's been going on.
I swear, I wouldn't normally do anything like that.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon, directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was, without a crest, armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery, that they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Very well. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
My God, that's a...
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Why?
I don't want to alarm our prey. Gossip spreads quickly, and if those scoundrels learn we're onto them, they'll flee.
That does make sense.
So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
I have, but I didn't find anything interesting.
And have you found out who's behind it?
Someone called Rapata.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry, I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. There's a man I know who works at the monastery yard, Master Engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving workshop, so he might have heard something.
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended. And I prefer you not to mention me at all.
I'll try to think of something. That's all.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Cabbage! Cabbage!
Yeah.
My respects to you.
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone, which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The 5th scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague, or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high, or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late. I fear he has delusions of persecution.
I don't really know what you mean, at all.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him, and the very next day he bought a padlock from the blacksmith and locked up his chest, as though I would ever sneak into it. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
I have a message for him.
A message? Who would be interested in that wastrel? Other than his furious and deeply disappointed master, of course. About your question, you'll find him at home, no doubt feverishly dying. He sleeps in the baker's cellar.
Ah, thank you. Does Florian have any enemies?
A man such as he certainly owes money at every turn, and the parents of local girls are undoubtedly displeased with his attempts to propagate. However, most recently it was that fury from the baths who accosted him in quite a spectacular rage.
A woman from the baths? What did she do?
The harpy nearly tore all Florian's hair out. I don't frequently feel sorry for my ne'er-do-well apprentice, but on that occasion I made an exception.
Do you have any idea why she did it?
She was screaming about some girl, some flighty bathmaid, Esther. I would say that Florian had felt the joys of spring and acted accordingly, although one would have thought they'd be used to that sort of thing at the bathhouse.
Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
God be with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh! Are you blind, for Christ's sake? There's people walking here!
What do you want from me?
I hear you're at odds with apprentice Florian.
At odds? I'll give you at odds. It's that sod's fault they took my Esther. Poor girl. I shudder to think what's become of her.
What exactly happened?
This man came in wanting a bath, and Esther with it. She doesn't normally offer that kind of service, but I didn't see the harm, so I sent her in to him. And suddenly I hear screams. So I run out, and I see the bastard pulling her out of the tent and shoving her into a boat.
I'm sorry they took her, but what exactly has it got to do with Florian?
They shouted at me to tell Florian that when he wises up, he'll get the girl back.
I assume that Florian knows this, Esther.
You know village girls. They don't get much of a choice. Every other knave has a turnip for a brain, and if they don't, they're relatives. And then some young dandy turns up who writes her little poems. What's the poor girl to do? And this is how it ends. She should have stuck with the turnip heads.
Where can I find this Florian? I'd like to ask him a few questions.
He works in the engraver's workshop at the monastery craftsman's yard. And if he's not there, he'll be holed up like the rat he is in the cellar he rents from the baker. He's afraid of me, for sure.
What did the bailiff make of it?
Don't even get me started on that. He's another fine... I won't say what. I told him everything, but he says he won't do nothing about it.
How's that then?
He wouldn't tell me to my face, of course. But people here don't think much of us. There's some as reckon my Esther deserves what she got. Poor girl.
It sounds like you were close to Esther.
I loved her like my very own. She came to me as an orphan, like a wolf child she was. I raised her and taught her and gave her a job, and now she's gone. Who knows if she's even alive?
I'd like to know more about the...
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Good day. Good luck then.
Good day to you.
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then. All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rapiter mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dies for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
It's got something to do with that girl, hasn't it?
How do you know?
That doesn't matter.
No, I suppose not. I didn't want to get involved, I swear. Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
Who is Esther?
My girl, of course. That scum took her right out of the bathhouse.
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
Very well. I'll bring back your Esther.
Really?
Yes, but then you have to tell me everything.
I will. I swear to God Almighty. Please, just bring her back to me. Nothing else matters.
Where are they keeping her?
In the Skalitz Hills. There are some abandoned cottages around the mines. That's where I saw her last. They took me there when I said they had to let me speak to her.
All right. I'll go there and try and think of something.
You're my saviour.
Don't get your hopes up. Anything could happen.
See you later. Hey! My God, I see someone stealing! There's a thief here!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What the hell was that?
What's going on there?
Corp! Fuck!
What's the matter? Come on!
Mercy! Please, Mercy.
Tell me what you know, and we'll see.
Of course, of course. What do you want to know?
Where's your workshop?
In the mines.
The mines are bloody enormous. I need a bit more than that.
It's in an abandoned shaft. Outside there's a camp, but I was only there once at night. When they wanted us at the workshop, we went the back way.
The back way?
Aye, not too far from here there's a ventilation shaft. We marked the tunnels with chalk.
That will take me all the way to the workshop.
It will. Just be sure to keep the markings on your right.
Got it. Who hired you?
A knight. His name's Jezek of Ronov.
What do you know about counterfeiting money?
Hardly anything. I know they do it in the workshop and they make a bloody good job of it. I always double-check any coin I get from them.
And you don't know anything else?
No, we were hired near Kuttenberg by that fellow Jezek. We were supposed to kidnap the girl and keep her here, that's all.
This Jezek, what can you tell me about him? Is he a nobleman?
So he claims. It's a Jezek of Ronov, he calls himself. I think he's from Moravia originally. The lad said he's a terror in those parts.
Yeah, I never would have guessed.
Margrave Jobst had Ronov Castle razed, though. Ain't nothing but a ruin now.
And what shall I do with you now?
What? You'll let me go, won't you? Of course you will. You gave me your word.
I didn't promise you anything. And even if I had, I'd lose no sleep over breaking my word to a thief.
Tuh. I might have known. And what do you plan on doing with me?
You're coming with me. I'm sure the Sasau bailiff can find some room for you.
Henry, what are you doing with that weapon in your hand? That's forbidden.
What was that noise?
Put it away.
We have it all. Come and safe.
Is someone there?
Carrots that'll make you and your family happy. Onions that'll make you cry. And garlic that...
You're covered in blood, for God's sake. You need a physician. Take care.
You're not...
Good day to you.
God be with you.
Yeah.
Hey, you there! Are you going to hang around here, gaping like a stuffed squirrel all day and night?
Yeah.
My pleasure.
One beer.
I finally found out where the Forger's workshop is. Master Fayfar was right. The Forgers are sticking close to the supply source. Their workshop is somewhere in the mines. I found there's another way in, through some other galleries. They'll never expect anyone to come from behind. Still, even if I can take them by surprise, I'd appreciate it if you came along to help.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on.
Yeah.
I'll do.
They won't hurt you now.
However did you find me?
Florian told me where they took you.
I'm a fool. I thought he was just a dandy, God knows why. And it turns out he's a villain in league with thieves. And a coward, too. This whole time he knew where I was.
You're right. If I were him, nothing could have stopped me coming for you.
Exactly. What a pathetic coward. We should probably set off.
I still have something else to take care of here. Go by yourself.
I hope no one's lying in wait on the way. I couldn't bear to be recaptured.
You've nothing to be afraid of.
Thank you again for rescuing me. Maybe we'll have another chance to meet. Whenever you're in Sasau, come to the baths.
Oh.
Good health to you.
I found that Esther of yours.
Really? Oh, thank you. But where is she?
Won't be long now. I got her out of their clutches, all right?
I'm speechless. How can I ever thank you?
By telling me all about the goings-on with Rapita.
They found me in the tavern one evening, caught me when I went to the ship pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapita. And a knight they called Sir Jezek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me, and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
Where will I find Rapita?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you go to work tomorrow, you hear?
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides, your master will surely be glad to see you.
I have my doubts.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
At first I took it for a bad joke. And then, when they snatched Esther, there was nothing to be done.
I suppose I'd better go. I'd hate the bastard to get away.
Good luck, and thanks for the help. See you later.
Yeah.
Show what you're made of.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Fucking come on then!
Ah.
Welcome, Henry.
If your coffee's burnt down, our sausages will still come through. If your husband is murdered, our sausages will be here. Come and get
before
them.
someone else does. Coming? My pleasure.
God.
You want something from me, do you?
Are you Rapiter by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know you buy Quicksilver for those counterfeiters.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Let's leave it for another time.
Yeah.
Carrots that'll make you and your family happy. Onions that'll make you cry. Garlic you ordered.
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skullet's mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skullet's Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it, and the workshop is inside.
Who is your lord?
Sir Yezhek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Ronov used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death, it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Yezhek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Yezhek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapota. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving Sir Yezhek?
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone, better Sir Yezhek than the executioner.
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up in the world?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get Ronov back and take me into his service.
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget about that. You'll be lucky if you don't end up swinging on the gallows.
It's all the same anyway now. I've betrayed him.
So who's Sir Yezhek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Yezhek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer you just kill me here and now.
An honourable death? No chance. It's the dungeons for you, and the sort of punishment a counterfeiter deserves. Don't worry. In time, you'll be glad of the gallows.
Vodenka studená. Kdybych já tu vodu píjel, věru bych sa dobře míval. Nechodíval bych do šenku, nešidíval bych šenkérku.
Coming?
One ale, please.
I've only got 2 hands. There, satisfied?
I'd like a beer.
I'll be right back with that.
Pour me one.
Here. Here.
I'd like a beer.
Coming right up. Got a few right here.
That's putting it mildly. I can't do it in cream sauce because it gives him gut trouble.
There's no
Can't
end
stand
to
the
this
smell of garlic,
cleaning.
hates mustard, and bacon is too common for him.
Oh, I see. That's a nuisance.
Can you think of anything I can do with it?
Look, it's all about the seasoning. Just roast it with a bit of lard, same as usual. To add some rosemary and juniper.
Ale for me?
The best thing for hair. I heard it from a travelling merchant. He had it in Prague and he said it was delicious.
All right, so I'll try. Lock him in the hen coop so he'll have a proper appetite next time. That'll ruffle his feathers.
Maybe you should have done that a long time ago.
Ale for me.
Just
the kind of weather I like.
Me too. Yeah, give me a minute. Here.
A tank it here.
Mother of mercy. How can you walk around at night without a light?
Coming
It's
right
forbidden. Do something about it, or I'll report you to the guards.
What the hell was that?
What's that?
Well now, look what's come crawling out from under some rock.
Is that all you got?
Two arms!
Where the mo the no, got what? And you this yeah. I didn't what the executioner would. They won't hurt you. I'll go with you. I'd hate to lose you on the way.
Hey, who's there?
What have we here?
Good health to you.
I found that
I know! Back already. How can I ever thank you?
by telling me all about the goings-on with Rapata.
They found me in the tavern one evening. Caught.
They?
Yes.
And
It was.
where?
He was.
Because.
Goodbye.
There, satisfied?
A tankard of ale for me.
I've only got 2 hands. Here.
Good day to you. Are there any problems?
Nothing I've heard about.
See you later.
Are you? No.
No, I give up!
So,
I will. What do you want from...
don't... That... Who... What happened to it?
Ronoff used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronoff only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate.
Who are... What are... So who's Sir Yeshek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Yezhek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I don't...
An honourable death?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ale!
My pleasure.
Here you are, and good health.
I finally found out where the forger's workshop is. Master Fayfar was right. I found there's another way in, through some other galleries. They'll never expect anyone to come from behind. Still, even if I can take them by surprise, I'd appreciate it if you came along to help.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on. Damn.
another 3 and another, but 3 would be better.
Put that sack down.
Hand me the tongs. Hand me the tongs.
7, 8, 9, 3.
Hand me the tongs.
No, here. Where I'm going.
Watch out. It's searing hot. Put that sack down. We have to make at least another 3 and another, but 3 would be better.
Hold it for me here. No. Here, where I'm showing you.
Hand me the tongs.
Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3.
Where are you putting that? Down there.
Watch out, we got it searing hot. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 score.
We have to make at least another 3 and another, but 3 would be better.
Watch out, we got it searing.
Jesus Christ. Who are you and what are you doing here?
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kabila.
And who's he?
That's no concern of yours.
I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement. I have plenty of coin.
We can come to an agreement that you'll keep your mouth shut. Please, don't take this personally.
Wait!
What? Do you want to do it? Be my guest. It gives me no pleasure.
You can't kill him. I have orders to take him to Ratai.
That is unfortunate. I have orders to kill everyone involved in this business.
You can't do that!
I have no choice, as you are aware.
Why do you want to kill him? He may have valuable information.
For that exact reason. My master does not wish this man to fall into the wrong hands, especially those of Radzig Kabila.
You can tell your lord the man is dead. He'll never find out.
But he will. Or do you think you can lock this man away from sight until Judgment Day?
Why not?
Do not be naive, boy. Look around you. This land swarms with rats and snakes, especially now. There is no secret that is not for sale. If I let you have him, my own head will be on a spike before the month is out.
You don't have to go back to the Rosenbergs.
How do you know about the Rosenbergs?
Master Fayfire recognized the writing on your letter of passage.
Just as I said, there is nothing safe from prying eyes in this land. And where would you suggest I go?
Into Sir Radzig's service. He needs people like you.
I serve Kabila. Out of the question. If he learned of all that I did for the Rosenbergs, he would hang me from the nearest tree. But you are right, I do not have to return to the Rosenbergs. In fact, I cannot.
Why not?
I am a knight without a crest, without allegiance. No one was meant to know whom I serve. If the Rosenbergs hear that I have been found out, they will see to it I vanish. They cannot afford to be associated with me.
Where will you go then?
Where the road takes me, as I have many times before. Farewell, Henry.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Please, I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
You can talk all you like, but not here and not to me. Let's go. Let's go. Master Fayfar is very keen to meet you.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Fayfar. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
I'll take some men and have a good look around there.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rattay. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Rattay then.
I'm glad to see.
God be with you.
God be with you. See you later.
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Burner to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir.
God be with you.
I need the key to Jezek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
Don't take it that way. He probably wants to talk to me because he reckons he can hoodwink me. But that's where he's wrong.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. You should consider it an honor.
It's true to say I have a lot of questions.
Well, there you are, then. It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the land and expelled from Moravia. They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that forced me to take some liberties.
Do you really want to question the authority of the Margrave?
I've always been loyal to the crown, but what can I do when the Margrave stole my fief?
That's not why we're here. I don't care about your conflict with the Margrave. It's your crimes against the king I'm worried about. The king you say you've always been so loyal to.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago, and they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so.
This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced, and after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
I'll have to think about it. I don't want to annoy Sir Radzig.
Yeah. I heard more merchants around. Yeah. Yeah.
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things.
There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Jezek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Jezek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. Sir Jezek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
I think I know where I could ask. I helped at the infirmary in Sasau, and there was a wounded man there by the name of Thomas, a suspicious type to say the least. He might know something.
Good. I'd rather see you seeking out better company, but that can't be helped. Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
As you command, sir.
Yeah. What are you gaping at, you piece of shit?
I'm glad to see you.
Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
And what's your idea of suspicious?
Have you heard of anyone looking to hire some rough men?
Mercenaries, you mean?
Yes.
There were some fellows conspiring here in the corner twice a week, and others coming and going. They didn't look entirely respectable, but they never made any trouble.
And what happened to them?
I don't know, they just stopped coming, and I haven't seen hide nor hair of them since.
You haven't heard anything about where they went?
How could I have? They just stopped coming, and that's that.
Where do you think they might be meeting now?
How should I know? I'm an honest innkeeper, not a man-at-arms. They could be meeting at another inn. They could be meeting in the woods by the light of the moon, for all I know.
Is there any way I'll recognise them?
Unquenchable thirst. They drank like fish. They were rough-looking too, big-bearded and scruffy. Aside from that, they mostly kept to themselves.
That's not much help. What did they do while they were waiting for someone?
They drank. And they played dice. I do remember there were always dice on the table.
So they were fond of dice, were they? And where would you find a game around here?
Anywhere there's dice and usually drink. That's all you need for a game. Although it dawns on me now, I never saw Simon with those men, oddly enough. He's got a nose for drunken dice players with a coin to lose.
Simon who?
Why, the young miller. He runs Katzig Mill. Neighbours are always slandering him for trafficking, but who knows? Maybe he just has a knack for business.
You don't know where I might find some more dishonourable folk?
And why would you want them? You'll set tongues wagging about you.
But they'd be the ones to know what reputable townsfolk don't.
I grant you that. Well, we don't have an executioner, just a knacker. But he's an odd fellow. Like any knacker, I suppose. And there's some strange tales about Miller Simon, too. But I'd say it's just jealousy.
What can you tell me about the knacker?
Decent folk don't talk about him. He deals in carcasses.
I was hoping you'd tell me a bit more than that.
Why should I care about him? He lives in a house by the church, and that's all I know. And all I'll say.
What can you tell me about Simon?
There's not much to tell. He runs Katzig Mill, and some say thieves meet there at night. But isn't there gossip about every miller? I don't think he's a sinner, but only God knows for sure.
Anything else?
You might not find him at the mill. He's a busy man, always out and about making some deal or other. And he likes to throw dice, especially when he sees a fat purse hanging on a drunken belly.
Thank you for the help.
Not at all. But why off so soon? Sit down for a tankard or a bite to eat.
Take care.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Well, we can try it.
Satisfied?
That's a poor... Fine, a reasonable sum.
Yeah, give me a minute.
My God, what happened to you?
Are you the local knacker?
I'm the local grave digger. But if there aren't any burials to take care of, I'll turn me hand to knackery.
Well, then you might know a lot of things that others don't.
I'm a decent man. Not always honest, but decent.
Anything fishy going on in these parts?
There certainly is. Candles are being stolen from the church, as brazen as that. What sort of people do that?
Ah, but have you heard of anyone around here hiring adventurers and bandits?
How would I know that? Most people avoid talking to me. I don't even go to the tavern much these days.
Thank you. I'll be going now.
Very well. Feel free to stop by any time. People shy away from me, except when there's a death, or the cesspit's full. God be with you.
Oh, that's you.
How are you doing? Feeling better yet?
Aye, much better. I'm truly grateful. A bit longer and I'll be able to run back to the woods and carry on. Well, never mind. Very kind of you to look in on me.
Truth be told, I didn't come just for your health.
What do you need?
Well, I've heard tell there's work for fearless men who enjoy a bit of silver.
Ah, I believe I can help you with that. They used to frequent the tavern, but now they meet in the church.
The church?
Aye, that's right. The church is locked at night, but if you see a light, the door will be open. Go in there and wait. Say a prayer or something, and then you'll see.
That's it? I don't need to speak to anyone?
Just doing what I told you is enough. They'll give you a good look over and see if you've got the metal. Don't you worry about that.
All right, thank you.
You took care of me, why wouldn't I help you? Tit for tat, eh? Goodbye.
Asparagus, salami, sausages, lard of all kinds, and scratches to make your mouth water all the time.
Father, I'd like to speak with you one more time about your return.
I already told you, I'm not going anywhere.
Don't you feel any shame? Think of all those Christians who faced death and never betrayed their faith.
That's something else entirely.
No, it's not. They weren't afraid to face death, and you're squirming at the thought of some slight danger.
Haven't you seen how they ransacked the place? Does that seem slight to you? Well, not to me.
The Cumans are gone, but the townsfolk won't come back. And why should they, when the man who ought to set an example, the one they look up to, is shitting himself?
The Lord forgive me. You're right. I should go back.
There. You see? Now I hear a man talking.
And where will I live? My house in Skalitz must surely be in ruins.
You can live right there at St. James. I'm sure the locals will be grateful enough to give you a roof over your head.
Well, it's true they've treated me kindly, and I do owe them. Very well. I will go back.
Thank you. The people from St. James will never forget this.
Good luck, then.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in
Amen.
heaven. What?
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like? People talk?
Oh, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
I don't recall his name, but he was one of your friends. He said that he couldn't take me straight to you, that I had to go through the church.
He was right about that. But he still said more than he should have.
I know my way around. You won't go wrong with me.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight. But not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
Nah, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius, and why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of us, but he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty. And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Oh, he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister. Or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and Pius. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest. But it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage. I've heard there's some cave underneath. The cave of St. Procopius. There might be a way into it from outside.
And do you have any other ideas besides secret passages?
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. Supposed to join the monastery soon. Might be he could help you somehow. I'd try talking to him if I were you. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him. A letter of admittance to the monastery, or whatever.
How will I recognize Pius?
He won't have been there long. He should be the only new one there.
But what if there are others? What does he look like?
Normal. He always went about well dressed and had a fine-looking dagger.
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is, and get him to betray himself. Try getting him drunk. Then send him straight to hell.
Get him drunk? In a monastery?
We're better. There's more wine there than in the royal cellars. And I doubt he suddenly stopped drinking.
Murder someone in a monastery? Have you gone mad?
Murder's a sin as it is. Doesn't really matter where you do it.
Yes, it does. I'd be spilling blood on hallowed ground.
Well then, knock him senseless, drag him outside, and finish him off where it's less sacred. I don't give a damn where you do it, just as long as he ends up dead.
And do you have any other test?
We're not hiring stable boys. We want men who are prepared to do anything. And this is the toughest task we've got.
So how many men have you already sent?
Just a handful.
And what happened to them? Did they hang?
Just the first one. The others turned tail. Guess they didn't have the stomach for it.
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to enlist the help of some boy who's joining the order, right?
More or less. And now the main thing.
The main thing is to kill him, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody finds him, or hightail it out of there quick as soon as the job's done. But better if they don't find him right away.
And what else? Should I come back here afterwards?
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where he hid the coin, bring that as well.
Bring his dice and the money if I find it. And where should I bring it?
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice and big and we'll show up. Take the dice and the money, and then tell you where to report. Got it?
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. Take his dice and money, and then go to the swamp and wait by the fire.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
And remember, we'll be keeping tabs. So don't you try to run off, alright? Good luck then.